You want to build a career in the beauty industry. It's a creative, independent field, but getting onto the salon floor requires making an immediate decision that comes with a price tag averaging $15,000 to $20,000. Before you sign any enrollment papers, you have to choose your pathway. Do you enter a traditional 1,500-hour general cosmetology program, or do you target a specialized license that takes a fraction of the time? To understand why that 1,500-hour program is the default, we have to look back to the 1930s. The cosmetology license was originally created as a legal boundary to separate hairdressers from barbers. Over decades, states expanded it into a massive regulatory umbrella covering hair, skin, and nails. But the modern beauty economy has moved entirely away from that model. Today, state boards force students to become generalists on paper, testing them on chemical relaxers and manicures, while real-world employers demand hyper-focused specialists who have mastered a single service. When prospective students default to that historical 1,500-hour pathway without a specific plan to use all of those skills, the results are crippling early career debt and a massive wave of industry dropouts. The national attrition data tells a stark story. Right now, less than 30% of students who enroll in a traditional cosmetology program actually graduate on time. Even for those who do secure their license, the mismatch between their education and the job market is severe. State audits reveal that 32% of active cosmetology licensees currently report working 0 hours a week in the industry. Those graduates are paying thousands of dollars and taking on federal student loans to learn skills like advanced acrylic application or complex skin therapies that they will never legally monetize on the floor. We are going to map your specific career goals directly to the correct, most financially efficient license, ensuring you only pay for the education you actually need. Your educational choice must align directly with its career utility. This comparison matrix breaks down the true economics. The broad umbrella license takes 12 months and averages over $10,000 in debt, while the specialty license drops the timeline to a few months and cuts the debt drastically. Let's look closely at the inputs required for the traditional pathway. You enroll in a 1,500-hour program, which for most students means relying heavily on federal student loans and grants to cover the expensive tuition. The primary outcome of that investment is the ultimate legal umbrella. Once licensed, you are legally cleared by the state to perform haircuts, chemical color, skin therapies, and nail technology under one credential. But that broad clearance comes with a steep trade-off. The average cosmetology student takes on $10,200 in non-dischargeable federal student loan debt just to get to the starting line. You also pay a massive opportunity cost in time. A standard 1,500-hour program requires a 9 to 12-month full-time commitment, delaying your entry into the workforce and costing you a year of potential wages. To make matters worse, time-based education models are highly inefficient. Studies show students spend up to 60% of their clinical hours standing idle, waiting for walk-ins, or providing unpaid labor that generates profit directly for the school. If your specific goal is not strictly to cut, color, and style hair, this broad cosmetology license operates as an inefficient, wealth-extracting toll booth that slows you down. That toll booth becomes painfully obvious when you look at the economic reality of the modern salon floor for generalists trying to offer every service. This bar chart reveals exactly where the money flows in a traditional salon. 92% of total revenue is generated exclusively by haircutting, styling, and color services. Everything else, retail, nails, skin, makes up a tiny sliver. Because the market strictly rewards specialization, generalists routinely abandon the skin and nail modules they spent hundreds of hours learning. Salon owners want niche experts, not practitioners with surface-level knowledge of multiple domains. This is where the specialty pathway becomes a massive advantage. Instead of 1,500 hours, you can opt for a 450-hour nail tech license or a 750-hour aesthetics license, often paying out of pocket at a cash-based institution. The outcome is a vastly superior return on investment. A nail technician can often recoup their entire gross tuition in just 1.5 to 3 months of working. There is one strict legal limitation. If you take the specialty half, you are barred by the state from cutting hair or mixing chemical color. If you change your mind later, you will have to go back to school. Looking at this quadrant chart, the trade-off is clear. General cosmetology sits in the high-cost, slow profitability corner, while the specialty licenses sit in the low-cost, fast profitability corner. Achieving maximized financial efficiency means purposefully sacrificing that broad legal agility. Beyond the salon floor, there is a seismic regulatory shift currently threatening the survival of the traditional, expensive beauty school model entirely. New federal frameworks, specifically the One Big Beautiful Bill Act and the Gainful Employment Rules, mandate a strict earnings test. To keep access to federal student loans, a school's graduates must out-earn the average high school diploma holder in their state. The reality is that 3 years after graduation, the average cosmetologist earns just $16,600 annually. The consequences of those wages are catastrophic for the traditional education model. Independent analyses project that up to 98% of Title IV cosmetology programs risk failing this test and losing their federal funding entirely by 2028. Defaulting to a traditional, loan-heavy school right now is a massive financial risk. Prospective students need to actively seek out affordable, competency-based programs or microlicenses that do not trap them in a failing debt-to-earnings ratio. To prevent you from misallocating your capital, we have built a straightforward framework to use before you sign an enrollment contract. This decision tree, which we call the specialization matrix, starts by asking what your core career ambition is. If your answer is exclusively focused on nails, skincare, or lash extensions, you are a niche optimizer. You take the path that says no haircutting or color. For this group, you strictly avoid the 1,500-hour program. Pursue the 750-hour aesthetics license or the 450-hour nail tech license. You will step directly into an exploding job market with 17 to 19% projected growth. Now, if your ambition is to work in a blow-dry bar doing event styling, but you never want to use shears or chemical lighteners, you take this third route. For you, check your local state legislation. Many states, like Kentucky, have created drastically reduced micro-licenses, such as a 300-hour shampoo and styling permit. It offers a direct, low-cost barrier to entry for exactly what you want to do. The core rule of modern beauty enrollment is simple. Paying for hours, skills, and product modules that you will never use directly destroys your early career profitability. Finally, our decision tree maps out the path for the future proprietor. If your explicit goal is to own a multi-service salon or to specialize in high-margin hair color and balayage, you require the ultimate legal umbrella. You are the group that must accept the necessary trade-off of a 9 to 12-month full-time commitment and higher upfront costs to secure that broad 1,500-hour cosmetology license. But to protect your future profit margins, we strongly advise you to actively seek out low-debt, cash-based institutions. Avoid the traditional federal loan trap that burdens so many graduates before they even touch their first paying client. Your education has to be matched strictly to its utility on the floor, not to outdated 1930s traditions or aggressive school admissions tactics pushing maximum hour programs. In the modern beauty economy, the future unequivocally belongs to the specialist. Pick your specific niche, minimize your initial debt, and maximize your profitability from day one.